And welcome back. We are now with Megan Morris. She's the Executive Director of the Santa Elena History Center. Welcome. How are you today?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm very interested in learning a little bit more about Santa Elena and the history of that settlement by the Spaniards. And then we'll talk about kind of what's been happening.
Great. Well, I love to always start with an intro on what is Santa Elena.
Yes.
That's the most common question that we give an answer to.
And I need to say Santa. Right?
Santa Elena.
Elena. Okay,
yep.
Very
so
good.
It's the Spanish pronunciation of St. Helena, which we all know very well because of St. Helena Island and other places where that namesake carries on, which actually makes Santa Elena, as a place name, one of the oldest used place names in our country's history.
Wow.
So that's one little tidbit that alludes to how long ago Santa Elena was here. It was a Spanish town from 1566 to 1587.
Yes.
The Spanish came in early to what we now call Port Royal Sound.
Yes.
They arrived on St. Helens Day, and in 1526, that day, they said, this is the perfect port. This is where we can have a settlement that's a strategic center of operations for Spanish rule of the New World.
Right.
This was during the Age of Discovery when maps were filling out slowly but surely as to what the Western Hemisphere looked like. So we tell the story of Santa Elena, and we tell the story of this first European capital, and we tell many perspectives of the story, the navigation, the Native Americans, the role of the different people who lived here.
And so at the History Center, you have artifacts and you have all kinds of information for everyone, young people. I know you have a lot of field trips and so forth to really understand the history, and then of course the rediscovery of the area and the settlement and so forth.
That's exactly right.
But now recently you have had Santa Maria.
Yes, a floating museum, if you will.
The floating museum, so unbelievable. And was it a big success?
A huge success. From the moment that it sailed through the swing bridge in downtown Beaufort, the public has been so excited and has received it so well. And just like at the History Center, we see students there on field trips, we see visitors of all ages. The Santa Maria experienced the same. So we jam-packed as much activity and as many people aboard for the experience of learning about the Santa Maria within its 10-day port of call, which was the first port of call on the East Coast.
Oh, how cool.
Yes.
And what were some of the comments as people were leaving? What would they say?
They were fascinated. It's built completely to spec of the 1492 vessel that sailed over with Columbus. And it was important for us to bring it to Beaufort to do this special recognition because it's a relatively newly built replica. And for it to come over kind of kicks off the story of Santa Elena.
Yes.
Because we not only talk about the settlement at the History Center, we talk about America's first century, which begins with Columbus.
Columbus?
That's right.
Christopher Columbus. And I found this very fascinating, the symposium you had with the maritime or the underwater archaeologists. That was in April and was just phenomenal. Some of the speakers that you had, just briefly share, and the partnerships with USCB and the OLLI program.
Well, we believe in collaboration through and through. That's been our motto day one. And we also believe that to fulfill our mission, we need to find interesting new perspectives of this history to share. So the shipwrecks theme came from our friends at the South Carolina Institute of Archaeology. So led by Jim Spyrick and that crew, we pulled together some amazing scholars from all over the United States. And we spent a day at USCB along with our friends at OLLI as well, sharing these interesting stories of ships that it wasn't always a happy ending, but through their stories we can learn a lot about the lost century, or the first century if you will, and then to also understand what these researchers have gone through. Underwater archaeology is fascinating. It was just
amazing.
Huge hit.
We have about 30 seconds left. What's to come this summer?
Oh my gosh,
just very quickly.
So much. Come visit anytime. Tons of new exhibits. We're unveiling a digital model of Fort San Marcos, which was the most recently discovered fort. We're going to have great summer camps. We'll be hosting the public every day, so we welcome them to join us, whether as visitors or as volunteers, because we always need those.
Great, you can go on the website and get all the information, the times it's open and that sort of thing.
That's it.
Megan Morris, beautiful job. Thank you for all the work you do
in
bringing the history alive to the Low Country.
We hope
and
so.
we'll be right back.